Hiya. So I'm here today with an unhaul. An unhaul. Yes. It's a dire situation. It's so many books. I've amassed through the whole year. It's not just like a November, December unhaul. It's like the whole year. Trust me. It's too many books. I just think my taste changed a lot, and I've just realized that life is a little bit too short and I'm not gonna be able to read all the books that I own. It's gonna be impossible, so I'm just gonna focus on the ones I really want to read. Some of these books might be like your favorite book or something like that, and please don't be offended if that is the case. Tastes are different, tastes change, and it might be that I'm unhauling it just because the book is not something I am going to read right now, but I might pick up later. So I just think that these books don't have to be here gathering dust when they can be in a house, or they can be loved and read, because books are meant to be read, not just sitting there gathering dust. So I'm gonna begin with the books that I read, and I'm gonna unhaul, and then I'm gonna go to the books that I didn't read and I'm gonna unhaul anyway. So first off, on the books that I've read, Peter Pan. Oh, and the books are in plastic because that. As I've said, it damages the book. The ocean air damages the book, and I've said that so many times already. Yeah, I don't know. That's why they're in plastic. Please don't be like, what is she doing? Is she crazy? I'm gonna show you some books that have been damaged by the ocean air, and you see what I'm talking about. So Peter Pan is the first one. I'm unhauling it. I loved it. I'm unhauling it because this copy of it I don't need, because I already have a Mina Lima copy that is beautiful, so I don't need this anymore. The Happy Prince and Other Stories by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is one of my favorite authors. I'm unhauling this because I've read it, I've enjoyed it, I'm not gonna reread it. It's a collection of short stories for children. Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. This was also a great book. I think I gave it 4 stars. It's really intriguing the whole time. You keep guessing. It's really well written. That's what I remember about it. It's really well written. I'm unhauling it because I'm never gonna read it again, and it can have a home where it can be read. These Old Shades by Georgette Hare. I'm gonna unhaul this book because I read it and I didn't really like it. Blubber by Judy Blume. I went into this thinking I was gonna find my new favorite children's author, but I don't know if this was the best book to begin with, because it's told in the perspective of this girl who was kind of a bully, and I just hated her through the entire book. Unhauling it. The Story of the Eye, or Story of the Eye by... I'm not gonna say it. I might offend French viewers if I have any. So weird. Unhauling it. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This I had so many high expectations for, and it so didn't meet them. I'm really sorry about it, but it wasn't for me, I guess. I didn't like it one bit. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Who in the world would write this? I mean, this guy did, but Seth Graham Smith. Well, it's just Pride and Prejudice, and then he cuts some parts of the text and inserts some zombies in it, and it was so unnecessary. it just, I didn't understand the point of this book, and it wasn't fun at all. I didn't like it one bit, and this, I think, got 1 star for me. Hollow City by Ransom Riggs. I loved Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I actually gave it 5 stars, but I think that should have been a standalone. If any book should have been in a series, should have been a standalone, it should have been that one. It was so good, but this book should not, it didn't need to exist. It was just okay, you know? It was just okay, and it didn't enhance the first book in any way, and it didn't enhance my enjoyment of the series in any way. And then we go to Library of Souls, which is the 3rd book of the series, which I DNF'd. I mean, come on, Ransom. This also did not need to exist. Map of Salt and Stars by Jennifer Zainab Jokadar. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm really sorry also. This I actually really liked. I gave it 4 stars. It's a really good story. It's funny and sad, and you feel like a whole range of emotions reading this book, and it was really good. But I'm not gonna reread it, and it needs to find a home where it can be read. Flame in the Mist by Renee Adier. Yeah. I read this book. I actually really liked it, but I didn't think it was good enough for me to continue on with the series, because there are so many series that I want to read. So yeah. Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. So this one, I just thought it was like so busy. It was so many YA fantasy tropes just pushed inside of a book. I was not a fan. This might be a controversy, but Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I know I did not like this book. I think it was so gushy and cringy, and I do like a love story, but this one, many people loved it, I know that, but I guess it's just one of those occasions when it's just not my taste. The Convenient Marriage by Georgette Hare, also I read it and did not like it very much. Legend by Mary Lou, another book where I think they just pushed a bunch of YA fantasy tropes inside a book and called it a day, and was not my favorite. Also, in this book, I didn't put any plastic on it, and I can show you the damage that ocean air can do on a book. Like, look at this. Look. Can you see it? Yep. That's why, you guys. That's why. Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. This book I read and I wasn't very impressed, because I like mysteries a lot, but I figured out who was the killer, who he killed, and why he killed that person in like page 80 or before, and I just was not for me. Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I read the first, I'm guessing this is the second. I read the second, and I started reading the third. Is this the third? I don't know. And I just decided I wasn't gonna continue with the series. So the first, second, and the third, and the fourth, I'm going to unhaul. War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. Now this, don't be fooled. This is one of my favorite books of all time. War and Peace is such a good book. But with books that are translated to English, I have a very big, like, peculiar thing where I have, especially with Leo Tolstoy, I read Anna Karenina with one translator. Actually, there were two translators, and I bought this book without checking who the translator was. And then it's such a beautiful book, but it wasn't the translator I read Anna Karenina with. So when I started reading it, it didn't sound like Tolstoy to me. It was a bit weird. So I just unhauled it and bought the book that had the translators I was used to. All American Girl by Meg Cabot. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling. I just think there are some books by the Harry Potter universe that I don't need to have anymore. You know? I'm just gonna stick with the main ones, and these collectible I mean, just they have them just to say they have them, just as a collection, which was what I was doing. I did read it, but I mean, it's not mind-blowing, and I was just having it as a collection. So I decided I was not gonna have this collection anymore, and I'm just gonna collect the books, the 7 books. So I'm gonna give this to someone who enjoys it. The Line of Beauty by Ellen Hollinghurst. I started reading this book. I didn't. It won the Man Booker Prize, but I was not into it. I wasn't enjoying it, and it was at a time when I was thinking, if you're not enjoying a book, don't force yourself to continue. You have so many books to read, just go and pick another one. So I didn't have this one, and I'm gonna unhaul it. So that finishes the books that I did read or attempt to read, and now we're gonna go to the books that I did not read, and I'm gonna unhaul anyway. I found that a lot of these books came in book subscription boxes. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped subscribing, because you don't know which book is gonna come, and so, most of the time is books that I don't want to read, and they don't, I don't know, I just, the fact that there are so many books from subscription boxes in my unhaul list made me rethink subscription boxes. That's all I'm saying. So the first book is The Reader by Tracy Chee. I'm not gonna say much about it because it's so many books. I'm gonna spend the whole day here talking about each of them if I'm gonna talk about the synopsis and stuff like that. The Cage by Megan Shepherd. Reign of the Fallen by Sarah Glenn Marsh. This one I think is signed. Dread Nation, which is also signed, by Justina Ireland. I actually was really excited to read this one, but I heard some things and read some reviews, and I just decided to not give it a go. Hotel on Shadow Lake by Daniela Talley. Starflight by Melissa Landers. The Removes by Tatjana Soli. The Ensemble by Asia Gable. So this book and The Removes, they came in a subscription box that I really liked called Page Habit. I have no idea what happened to it. It just stopped, and there was no explanation. They didn't send any email explaining what happened. They just disappeared, and it was the weirdest thing. To this day, I don't know what happened to Page Habit. If someone knows, please tell me in the comments or something, because it was really interesting, because the authors put little post-it notes on pages throughout the book, discussing and commenting about parts of the book, and it was really interesting to have that perspective and view from the author while you read the book. So I don't know what happened to Page Habit. I really don't. The Help by Catherine Stockett. I actually feel like I'm gonna read this book, but not right now. City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I'm just not gonna read it. City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. Do not buy books from a series if you have not read the first one yet. I do that all the time. World Mythology in Bite-Sized Chunks by Mark Daniels. How to Think Like Sherlock by Daniel Smith. Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. It by Stephen King. No. Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea by, I should know, L.M. Montgomery. I want to read these books. I'm unhauling this one because I've got better copies, like cuter copies. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I just had this book for so long and never reached for it. Roar by Cora Carmack. So like 90% of the books I just showed you came in subscription boxes like this one. Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. Angel Fall by Susan E. I actually really debated unhauling this one, but it is a series, and as I said, I have so many series to read. I just can't put another one in the list unless I really want to read it. Unearthed by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Another one that this is actually on the maybe pile. I'm not sure exactly if I want to unhaul this one. Subscription box. Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I just have a better copy of it. The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. I also on the maybe pile. I also don't know. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I got this one in a folio edition, and I just don't need this one. That's just basically it. I'm gonna read the Folio Society edition one. Echo Park by Michael Connolly. The Runaway Jury by John Grisham. I don't think I'm gonna read it. The Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. I don't think I'm gonna read it, and it's really chunky. Eagle in the Snow by Wallace Breen. The trilogy of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, all in different editions. Yeah. True Grit. I don't even know why I bought this. I think it was in a sale or something. Furies of Calderon by Jim Butcher. I really wanted to read this. I just think my tastes changed through the years, and I just don't feel like picking it up anymore, and it is another series. Wicked Like a Wildfire. Look how pretty this is, by Lena Popovic. I also don't think I'm gonna read it based on Goodreads reviews from people I follow and from my friends, and also came in a subscription box. So Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. After reading Fangirl, you won't see me reading this one, even though people said it's nothing like Fangirl, but I don't feel really interested in it, and I know there are a lot of people out there that really want a copy of this book, so why should I keep it if I don't want to read it? Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. I also have a really cute copy of this. I don't need another one. Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates. Delirium by Lauren Oliver. A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. M is for Malice by Sue Grafton. N is for Noose by Sue Grafton. So on the note of books that I had for like collective purposes, the Hogwarts Classics, which comes with Beetle the Bard and Quidditch Through the Ages, also don't need it anymore, also going in the unhaul pile. Do the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. I really liked Far From the Madding Crowd, but I don't think I'm gonna be reading Judy Obscure. So I was rearranging my shelves, and I actually have duplicate copies of Charles Dickens books, so why? I'm like forgetting I have that book and buying it again. What's happening to me? So Hard Times by Charles Dickens. Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce. So James Joyce, it's like the most intimidating author I know, and I already have Ulysses, and it's a chunker and so difficult to read, people say, and I believe them. So I bought Finnegan's Wake because it was in a really good price, but damn it, I don't think I'm gonna read. If I'm gonna read a chunker by James Joyce, it's gonna be Ulysses. So I just can't say I read Ulysses. The Karamazov Brothers by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Another chunker. Hex Hall by Rachel Hawking. Another one which I bought the first and the second or third book of the series, and then I decided I wasn't gonna read it. Don't do it, guys. Queen of the Tyrling and The Invasion of the Tyrling. They're gonna find homes where they're gonna be appreciated. So this is a book in Portuguese, but it's We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. The Bees by Laline Paul. I was actually really intrigued by the premise of this book, but I never ever reached for it. So The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. I actually just bought the Mina Lima signed copy of The Jungle Book, so I don't need this one anymore, and I'm really excited to get it, the Mina Lima copy. Moby Dick by Herman Melville. I don't think I'm gonna read it. It's one of those classics where I bought it because it was a classic, and it's one of those standard ones that everyone talks about when they're talking about classics and stuff. I just don't think it's a classic I gravitate towards, and I don't think I'm gonna read it. I just don't. Holes by Louise Sachar. This is another one I don't know if I'm gonna unhaul or not, because I've read so many good reviews. I just don't ever reach for it, but I still don't know. This is a maybe. The Odyssey by Homer. I'm not gonna read it. And that's it. Those are all the books. Woo. Thank you so much for watching. If you're here and you're still watching me go through all of these books, I really do thank you. And as I said, if I unhauled a book you really like, I hope I explained that it's not because except the ones I said that I read and didn't like, if I unhauled a book I didn't read and you think it's really good, please say it on the comments so I don't get rid of it. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you soon.